Chapter 147 to 150. It's finally time for the students to get their spirits to stabilize their rampaging magicules. Gale decided to go first. Gale, sensei, please. If anything happens to me, look after the others. He wanted to be the test dummy to check if anything will go wrong. He's the oldest and he sees himself as the big brother of the group. He would rather suffer the consequences than let the others suffer. I just dropped my hand on his shoulder. Head pats are only reserved for lolis and Mikoto. Rimuru, don't say stuff like that, I know what I'm doing. Trust your sensei. He looks up and stares into my golden eyes. Seeing the confidence in them, a small smile breaks out and he nods. Gale, then, I'm going to pray. Praying was decided to be the method the kids will use to call the spirits. I suggested it because it was what the kids did in the series and they agreed. Ramiris also confirmed that spirits will hear them even if they don't speak out loud, so it's fine. Gale kneels on one knee in the center of the light platform and closes his eyes. He clasps his hands together and takes a deep breath before beginning his prayer. Ramiris, I wonder what spirits he will call. Ramiris mutters while hovering around me with curiosity sparkling in her eyes. Nothing happens at first. The kids standing far behind me also begin their own little prayers, begging for a spirit to be called. In the end, they didn't need to do such a thing. The light source from the ceiling begins to shift colors, gaining an earthy yellow tint. Motes of light with the same colors begin appearing from that light source before slowly drifting down like snow. They hover around and above the praying Gale, seemingly waiting for the child to open his eyes again. Rimuru. TCH. No dice, huh? Since this is an alternate universe, I thought that he could call a greater spirit, but it seems no such thing will happen. Rimuru, Ilya. Ilya, yes. Ilya, who was waiting patiently behind me, answers my call. She steps up next to me and grabs my hand. I look down at her and smile fondly, meeting her ruby red eyes. Raising my free hand, I stroke her head. Rimuru, I'll be counting on you. Ilya, Umu. She nods. She then begins to glow. Her body dissipates into bright pink streams of light, circling around my body affectionately before streaming into my chest. I feel my connection with Ilya grow ever stronger. Kenya, Wadash. Alice, Ilya. The children were shocked, expecting it about as much as one would expect the Spanish Inquisition. Even Ramiris was staring with her mouth agape. Only Ranga and Mikoto weren't shocked. Mikoto wasn't shocked because she already knew Ilya's true identity as my Manas, and Ranga, well, he long learned that as long as I'm involved, even if the sun explodes, it's not so shocking. Ramiris. I was not expecting that. Well, I was expecting not to expect something, so that doesn't count. Ramiris shrugs. I am seriously questioning her words. Right. Let's get start. Oh, wait, first I gotta. Rimuru, Ramiris, don't tell anyone what you just saw or else I'm never giving you a meat bun again. Ramiris, hi. She furiously nods her head, dreading the mere thought of never tasting the heavenly food again. Okay, now I can start. Beelzebub, Lord of Gluttony. I hold my hand out and a black vortex of magicules appear. The lesser spirits get sucked into the black vortex, much to Ramiris' absolute terror. Ramiris, hey. You ate the spirits. What are you doing? Rimuru, well, just calm down. I know what I'm doing. I walk towards the still praying Gale and place a hand on his head. Rimuru, I'm counting on you, Ilya. Ilya, hi. Ilya's cheerful voice resounds in my head as she begins her. Ilya, done. At least let me finish my inner thoughts. My hand that was placed on Gale's head softly glows with the same earth-yellow light as the spirits. Under Ilya's influence, the lesser spirits I ate with Beelzebub fused into an artificial greater spirit. Unlike a natural greater spirit, this one doesn't have its own ego. I don't want another Shizue situation. Yes, I know that the only reason Ifrit, Shizue's greater spirit, went on a rampage was that she wasn't its true master, but still. Better safe than sorry. Although it does have its own instincts, or program, you could say. The main ones being to calm the rampaging magicules and protect Gale, along with a few others. The artificial greater spirit was thrown into Gale's body and perfectly fused with him. Rimuru, there. All done. At my words, Gale stops praying and looks at me with inquisitive and hopeful eyes. I just nod my head. Rimuru, it's over now. The magicules stopped rampaging. Gale's eyes start watering. He sniffles a bit. Without hesitation, I step forward and bring his still kneeling figure into a hug. Rimuru, it's okay to cry. Those 4 simple words worked like magic and Gale burst into tears. These are tears of happiness, shed from finally being released from the burden of an untimely death. The other students begin cheering, sharing Gale's happiness. Ranga, woo. Joining in, Ranga howls in celebration. Mikoto holds herself back from jumping around in euphoria, but she still couldn't help a large bright smile from breaking out on her face. Meanwhile, Ramiris is staring into space, stunned at the fact that you can apparently fuse lesser spirits into a greater spirit. Ramiris. What the hell? And so the former Queen of Spirits hovers there in the air, contemplating if she should resign that title, as apparently, she didn't know everything about them. For about 2 seconds before throwing that thought process out of her mind. Ramiris, there's no way I'm giving up such a cool title. Rimuru, you did it, Ilya. Ilya, ha. I praise Ilya in my mind, which prompts a smug response from her. Rimuru, right, who's next? I turn around and look towards the rest of the students as Gale walked over with a renewed spring in his step. Alice, oh. Me. Before anyone else could say anything, Alice's hand shot into the air and she started screaming. The other students could only wryly smile as they decided to just concede to her. So in the end, Alice went next. Alice and I started walking to the center of the light platform. Alice was pretty excited at first but slowly started becoming more hesitant. Or rather than hesitant, she became more nervous and scared. Of course, she tries to hide it and act tough like nothing's wrong, but you can't fool my eyes. And so, I use my secret technique. Slime head patting style, 5th form. Calming pats. I drop my hand on her head, which immediately calms her down. I don't say anything, but I smile confidently at her while staring into her pink eyes. Her nervousness disappears, and she smiles. Ilya, moo. Ilya pouts and I can feel 2 burning stares into my back. What did I do to deserve this? Sigh. The things handsome people have to deal with. Reaching near the center of the platform where Ramiris is still hovering dumbfoundedly, Alice walks a couple of steps in front of me, standing right in the middle. She takes a deep breath and kneels before clasping her hands in front of her chest and closing her eyes. Her eyelids tremble a bit, showing that she's still a bit nervous. But even so, I can feel her trust in me. Pink lesser spirits start to fall. As expected, she couldn't call a greater spirit, just like in the anime. Unlucky, I guess. What I'm curious about is what kind of spirits are these guys? In the light novel, she called fourth air spirits, but in the anime, she called space spirits. Beelzebub. The spirits get absorbed and under Ilya influence, a brand new artificial air greater spirit was born. A bit of a shame, I was hoping for a new space spirit comrade. I place my hand on Alice's head again and with a soft pink glow, the spirit was successfully fused with the lowly. Yay! Saved a lowly. Now I save the other and I can go to heaven. Rimuru, done. I say a single word and Alice opens her eyes, now filled with so much emotion, mostly happiness and relief. She wipes her misty eyes as she tries to stand up from her kneeling position, but she stumbles forward a bit. Alice, Rimuru, ah. Luckily I catch her. Rimuru, are you good? Alice, and my legs feel a bit weak. Alice timidly says. Deciding that this is the best course of action, I pick her up in a princess carry and walk her back to the rest of the students who are once again celebrating. The stares and pouting of 3 girls are becoming even more painful. Deciding that I couldn't take much more of that, I lower Alice down. Alice, chew, Alice leans forward and lightly kisses my cheek before jumping out of my arms and running back. Ashit.jpg. Whoosh. MC has combusted into flames and fucking died, please stand by as we bring in another MC clone. Meanwhile, I, the author, will temporarily write things from my perspective. Kenya, alright. I'm next. But I don't care as much, so let's just skip his scene. Ryota, and my turn dash. Once again, I don't care all that much. Chloe, Rimuru sensei. And finally, it's Chloe's turn. I'm joking. I'll properly write them. MC POV. Kenya, alright. I'm next. Kenya confidently stands in the center of the platform, wondering what type of spirit will he get. But before he could even do anything, fragments of bright light appear. Kenya, I didn't start praying yet though. Rimuru, don't worry, this just means you called a genuine greater spirit. Kenya, oh is that so? Kenya's confusion was blown away as the light particles begin to gather together. With another flash of light, a greater spirit appeared. This one is the size of a human child. He looks humanoid too. He has wings of light hovering behind his back, not physically attached to his body. He has blonde hair and long ears like Ramiris, but he has sky blue eyes instead. He also has cyan blue lines like a knockoff Amiya running over parts of his skin. Don't ask me why. Greater light spirit, hey. How are ya? I'm doing great. Hey, what's your dash? Ramiris, get out of my house. Ramiris used flying kick. But nothing happened. Rimuru. Kenya. Ramiris, what are you doing here? Greater light spirit, it's just a whim. The greater light spirit tries to calm Ramiris down to barely any success. He then looks over in our direction. Greater light spirit, yo. I'm a light spirit. Unlike this evil monster that fell and became a monster, I'm a pure innocent spirit. The greater light spirit can hold grudges, I see. I like him. But... evil? Ramiris? Ramiris, who are you calling evil? Ramiris then looks over at me. Ramiris. Stop looking at me with those doubting eyes. I am a demon lord. Rimuru, sorry. Greater light spirit, moving on. Hey, little guy. What's your name? Kenya, me? The greater light spirit nods his head. Kenya, I am Kenya. Greater light spirit, Kenya, huh? Then I'll call you Kenchan. Nice to meet you. I could just feel this light inside you, you know? I am light. Ahaha. Ramiris. Rimuru. Kenya. That wasn't that funny. But the greater light spirit just kept talking. Greater light spirit, in any case, I'll save ya, Kenchan. You might even become a hero too. With that, the greater light spirit turned into light and shot into Kenya's chest. Rimuru. Well, that just happened. Don't worry, Kenya, you're all good now. I say while giving him a thumbs up. Kenya, alright. It's not that Kenya doubted me, but it's just unexpected and his mind is still trying to catch up. Now, all that's left is Ryota and then finally Chloe. I might even get my first kiss from the spirit, Chloe calls. Spark. Ilya, humph. I walk Kenya back to the rest of the group and Ryota steps up for his spirit. He's nervous, as you can tell from his body language. He's shuffling his feet, he's nervously fiddling his fingers and he constantly looks down. Kenya, good luck, Ryota. Gale, you can do it. The other kids cheer him on, causing him to look at them with appreciation before walking alongside me back to the center of the light platform. Without needing to explain anything to him, he kneels down, closes his eyes, clasps his hands in front of his chest, and starts praying. Nothing happens for a few seconds, but as expected, lesser spirits start appearing without trouble. Unlike the uniform-colored spirits from the last few times this happened, Ryota's spirits came in 2 colors. Ramiris, 2 elements. That's rare. But it seems this isn't unheard of, judging by Ramiris' response. Blue and green. If I remember correctly, they should be water and wind. Is his wind different from Alice's air? In the anime, Alice gained an artificial space spirit. Does that mean instead of manipulating the wind itself, it's more like Alice gaining a domain of some sort? If so, that would fit well with her puppet master ability. I don't know, it hurts my brain to think so much. I need Mikoto's thighs to recover, maybe head patting Ilya would also work. Or, perhaps, both at the same time. As I was thinking about important things, Ilya already absorbed the lesser spirits, combined them into an artificial water/wind greater spirit and fused it with Ryota. Such a responsible little sister. Rimuru, right, done. I pat his back, shaking him out of his prayer. Ryota, yeah. Already? Rimuru, yup. Come on, let's go back. Ryota breaths out a sigh of relief, emotionally muttering, thank goodness, to himself. We make it back to the rest of the kids, causing them to throw their arms around him in celebration. Kenya, you did it, Ryota. Gale, yeah you did. Alice, congrats. Chloe also is very happy, but she's a little curious as well. Chloe, sensei, why were the spirits more than 1 color? Rimuru, because Ryota called 2 different elements. Chloe. Rimuru. Chloe, is that it? Rimuru, yup. Last spirit. Same old, same old. Chloe and I walked over to the center of the platform and she started praying after kneeling and closing her eyes. She initially wanted me to carry her to the center in a princess carry as I did with Alice, but I felt like I wouldn't survive past today if I did. So I just held her hand. Relax, it was consensual. Now, in canon, Chloe should have summoned a time spirit. In reality, it was her Manus that came from the future. Manus, Cronoa, was born out of Chloe's negative emotions created throughout the numerous failures she experienced throughout the different timelines. This warped her personality, but still carrying the hope that things will get better, Chloe sealed those negative emotions in her heart with her unlimited imprisonment, unique skill. Thus, the Manus, something like an alter ego, was born. It's specifically this Manus that was traveling through time, carrying memories from the previous Chloes. Whether the Manus contained memories of all the Chloes or just the most recent timeline, I don't know. I'm not a lore nut, I just enjoyed the story. Originally, sometime in the future after Chloe regained her Manus, she would have been teleported back in time by a little more than 300 years. There's a whole lot of shenanigans that happen, but basically, the trigger for the teleportation is Hinata's death. Of course, this is Tensura, so she, as an important character, didn't actually die and came back to life quite literally less than 5 minutes. It wasn't actually 5 minutes and more like 300 years, but as I said, there's a whole lot of shenanigans. Chloe would get sealed and go into something like cryosleep and would come back to OG Rimuru 300 years later as a fully fledged waifu still head over heels for him. Now, let me say this again. This should have happened in canon. Meaning, it didn't happen here. Bruh. Instead of an Wani-san Chloe appearing in a beautiful dress and kissing me. Ilia, ****. What happens was the usual greater spirit summoning light show. Silver-colored particles of light appeared and gathered together. With a flash of light, a spirit appeared. A fully fledged greater spirit, to be exact. This greater spirit looked like your average Bishounen from an anime, with sharp facial features, smooth soft skin and exotic silver-white eyes and hair. He's dressed in fluttery silver-gray clothes that fit him quite well. He also has that smile all those types of boys have. The ones that make you want to punch them. Tui, I hate him already. Fuck getting a kiss from him, disgusting. Greater spirit, hey. As expected, you look pretty cute, huh? Chloe's face morphs into one of slight disgust. Ramiris, oh god, not him. The greater spirit only had his eyes on Chloe the whole time, so he missed Ramiris' murmur. I heard it, however, so I leaned in and whispered. Rimuru, you know this guy. Ramiris, know him. Every female spirit knew him. He's the greatest playboy among us. I hate him even more. Ramiris, that's not the worst part though. The worst part is that all the girls hate him. Even Diana, the divine water spirit, who is also the kindest among them, absolutely hates him. He's too pushy and nothing gets through that thick skull of his. He always thinks everyone loves him and he always acts with that thought in mind. Even during my time as the spirit queen, he kept getting in my way for my attention and Ramiris kept on droning on and on about how annoying this greater spirit is, but I had to stop listening because this fuckboy was about to make a contract with Chloe. And like my old man always said, male thoughts are just fuckboys. Greater spirit, right, I'll choose you then. I'm the greater time spirit, arch dash. Rimuru, be gone, thot. Boom. With a beam of heavily concentrated magicules, the greater spirit arch whatever exploded and disappeared into motes of light while Chloe looked at me like I am her savior. Ramiris, yees. Ignoring the emergency food behind me, I absorbed the greater time spirit's remaining particles with Belzebuth, and recreated into an artificial greater spirit. I had Ilia make absolutely sure that any of its original personality was erased before I fused it with Chloe. Ain't no way I'm letting a fuckboy like him contract with my dear student. But still, what happened to Cronoa? She didn't appear, so does that mean that I'm currently in the prime timeline? The timeline where everything originated? Or maybe she did not need to time travel since I'm strong enough to create the optimal future myself, unlike OG Rimuru. But how did Veldora get sealed then? And who saved Shizue and gave her the anti-magic mask? Chloe, sensei. Rimuru, I looked down at a concerned Chloe. Chloe, are you okay? I just smile. Rimuru, yeah, just thinking about some stuff. Come on. Let's go back. I pat her head and start walking back to the rest of the students. Ramiris already flew back and is hovering around Ranga and Mikoto. A stream of light flashes out of my chest and hits the ground next to me, revealing itself to be Ilya in all her cute lowly glory. She hugs my left arm and stares at Chloe without silent fury. Chloe doesn't back down and hugs my right arm and stares right back. Mikoto, Lilikan. -999, 999 damage. Mikoto looks at me like I'm absolute scum. Oh god, if she keeps looking at me like that, I might awaken to something new. Now all that needs to happen is Mikoto and Ilya getting their own spirits and then we can go home. Skill, Natural Attack Resistance, has been acquired. Ooh, is this from all the spirits that I analyzed just now? Sweet. Moving on. Unlike the students, Mikoto and Ilya don't need any spirits to inhabit their bodies. A simple contract will do. Mikoto, I guess I'll go first. Rimuru, sounds good to me. Do you need me to hold your hand too? Mikoto, and no I don't. Rimuru, but do you want to though? Mikoto. Mikoto doesn't do anything other than glare at me. Her flushed cheeks do nothing but make her look cuter though. Arg. My heart. Mikoto, humph. She storms off to the center of the platform by herself after seeing my teasing smile. I would follow her in case another fuckboy appears, but... Mikoto, stupid Rimuru, idiot, baka. I feel like she can handle herself. Unlike the children that came before her, she didn't kneel nor did she pray. Or to be specific, like Kenya, she didn't get the chance to. Electric yellow motes of light appear and converge together, a telltale sign of a greater spirit. Who's that Pokemon? What? Who's there? Who said that? Show yourself. The greater spirit materialized and a yellow lightning rat appeared. It's Pikachu. The fuck? A Pikachu. How? The Pikachu landed on the ground and started running around Mikoto. Pikachu Pika Pika. While pale as a sheet of paper, I ask Ramiris a question. Rimuru Ramiris. What's that? I stutter as my mind fails to comprehend the situation. Ramiris, Ah, that's Pikachu. A greater lightning spirit. I don't know why it appears in this form as all the other greater spirits are much more humanoid. It's only this little guy that's different. What? The fuck? Pikachu, Pikachu. Mikoto, I see. Pikachu Pika Pika. Mikoto, really? Pikachu then nods its head. Rimuru, what's this little guy saying? I ask Mikoto as I walk up behind her while she was having a conversation with him. I then proceed to get kicked in the stomach by the said little guy as it jumps from the ground and digs its foot into my gut. I don't flinch a bit though and Pikachu just drops to the ground and runs back to Mikoto. It then jumps onto her shoulder and glares at me. Pikachu, Pthi. I point to it with a confused expression. Rimuru, what's his problem? Mikoto, it's because you called her a guy. Rimuru, Pikachu is a woman. Spark. Pikachu, Pika-apa. Yellow sparks of electricity bounce off his, her cheeks and she glares at me. Rimuru, sorry, miss, I didn't know. Here, have a meat bun. Pikachu, Pikachu. I make a meat bun and place it in her little paw thingies. She nibbles it a bit before her eyes sparkle. Pikachu, Pika Pie. Mikoto, she said she forgives you. Meat buns are op, please don't nerf. Rimuru, is that so? But still, I never thought you would summon a Pikachu, she really suits you. Like, more than you would ever know. I shouldn't say that out loud though. Mikoto, really? I quite like her too. Mikoto says while scratching Pikachu's chin. I want to scratch her too, but I don't want to be the next Ash Ketchum of whatever his name is and get shocked. Not like it would hurt. Instead, I give Mikoto herself some head pats causing her face to explode with redness. Her steps become stiff like a robot and it seems like she can't concentrate as her eyes are swirling. In the end, we make it back to the rest of the group just before Mikoto self-destructed. Rimuru, Ilya, let's get your spirit. Ilya, hi. She skips up to me and stands there as if she's waiting for a head pat. So I give her a head pat. Rimuru, what's wrong, Ilya? Ilya, nothing, I just thought that I don't want to contract with just any spirit. Rimuru, ho. So who do you want to contract? I am honestly a bit confused. She should probably have a method to summon the exact spirit she wants, right? I mean, this is Ilya we're talking about. Ilya, I want to contract with Oniai-chan. Holy crap, you can do that. Students, yeah. Mikoto, that was possible. I shrug my shoulders. I'm just as confused as you guys are. Ramiris, wait. You're talking as if Rimuru is a spirit you can contract with. That doesn't make any sense. Ramiris interjects by waving her arms around in front of Ilya's face. Ilya just tilts her head with a confused expression. Ilya, but Oniai-chan really is a spirit you can contract with though? Ramiris. Ilya. Ramiris, inhales asterisk. I want to go home. Ramiris pinches the bridge of her nose, takes a deep breath, and says something relatable. Rimuru. Isn't this place your home though? Ramiris, you shut up. Rimuru, me. Mikoto, sigh, Ilya, please explain. Later. Ramiris, right, so you're saying that Rimuru is a spirit? Ilya, yes. Ramiris, and not just any spirit, but a high-ranking space spirit at that. Ilya, Ilya just finished off explaining my position to Ramiris and the students. Of course, she didn't explain everything to them. She didn't mention that I was originally a monster that evolved into a higher being aka origin slime aka highest tier spirit aka true dragon, nor did she mention that it was through the effect of an ultimate skill. For all they know, I'm a natural-born greater space spirit. Chloe stares off into space for a while before her face starts turning red. Chloe, so if I made a CC contract with Rimuru-sensei, he would be I inside me right and now. Chloe mutters to herself as steam began to rise from her head. But because no one was speaking, everyone present heard her loud and clear. Kenya, Ryota, Alice, and surprisingly even Gale had a look of innocence on their face. Mikoto's already overheated brain completely shut down at this point, as you can hear her just going, "Aaaaaaa," as her brain tries to reboot itself. Pikachu. Pikachu panics as she tries to save her master by shaking Mikoto's shoulders. Ramiris, actually that's not entirely true. The spirits you summoned are fused with your bodies, unlike normal summons who are just connected through the soul by a contract. This means that I couldn't have fused with the students unless I wanted to be, inside, then 24/7 constantly controlling their rampaging magicules. Chloe, oh. Why do you sound so disappointed? Rimuru, oh, and Ramiris, I need to talk to you about something. Ramiris, Name, Rimuru. Race, origin slime. Protection, crest of space. Title, highest tier spirit, leader of the monsters, Oniai-chan, king of Avalon, master of het pats, procrastinator king, the nutcracker, socially awkward cringe slightly Chuyuni slime, dragon slayer, sensei. Manas, Iliasville. Ultimate skills, Belzebuth, lord of gluttony, Ahura Mazda, lord of creation, Scathach, lord of runes. Unique skills, spatial ruler. Intrinsic skills, infinite regeneration, universal shape shift, universal sense, enhanced replication, universal thread. Extra skills, lord's ambition, thought communication, control natural elements, control magic, control gravity. Resistances, cancel pain, resist melee attack, cancel natural elements, cancel ailments, cancel spiritual attack, resist holy/demonic attack, natural attack resistance. Equipment, Yamato, Raphael, skill orb, limiter ring. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kaishin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Yamatancho. Yuki. Search 1301. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be here until next time.